All right, this is your girl Kay again. I'm back. um, so this is gonna be a 10-minute rant. Well, I just don't have the energy to rant. I'm just gonna speak some truths, and then we're just gonna get into it. Normally I come to you guys from the car, but the coronavirus is alive and well still, so I am still at the house. Um, so I wanted to address on this particular rant the media, especially local media. Now, where I live, protests have been occurring, downtown and things like that. There has been, I would say, I don't have any statistics or anything like that, but I would say at least 98% of the protests have been pretty peaceful and nonviolent. But of course, the media chose to share the 2% that have not been so peaceful and nonviolent. Um, First and foremost, let me just say, I'm not out here cooning for these people. I'm not going to do that. I am not going to condemn the 2% uh, nonviolent protesters. You have a right to your anger. You have a right to your frustration. You have a right, to whatever you chose to protest. Keep in mind, the oppressors don't like any kind of protest, whether they're peaceful or nonviolent. Both Malcolm X and Dr. Martin Luther King have both proved that. This is not that type of rant. This is specifically for the media. I've been trying to unplug because I've been so tired and and it's so exhausting, emotionally, mentally, even, and it manifests itself physically. So I've had to kind of back away from the news and social media and even just regular conversations, friends wanting to call up and talk about it. I've just had to put some brakes on, set some boundaries for my own, well-being, mental health, spiritual health. I'm telling you, it was really, really dark. It was really dark. So I had to kind of make some adjustments. But I'm telling you, I'm in the fight with you. I'm here for you, and I stand 10 toes down on it, period. However, I was watching the news a couple of days ago, my local news, of course, um, and they were showing video of downtown protesters who, hit somebody in the face, knocked them out. They were bleeding. Some separate protesters and people who were down. I think one of the news camera men were down there who got it on tape. He was across the street. Of course, they rushed to the gentleman's assistance, checked on him, got him some help, etc. So, and the gentleman is alive, so he didn't die or anything. But they showed this video on the news, like in that segment, about 3 times. Now, granted, they did provide, I guess, a sensory warning or advisory warning before showing the video that, this may not be appropriate for children. It may not be appropriate if you are, if this is a trigger for you, etc. They kind of prefaced showing the video with some of that, uh, upfront kind of information. And then they showed the video. Now, after they did that, though, they showed the video about 3 times in a row. And again, it's bad, you know, what's going on and how the 2% of the violent protesters are, you know, going about things. I don't agree. Even though I'm not going to condemn them, I do not agree with some of it. However, What I absolutely don't agree with is both of the news anchors who were on that evening, one a white lady, one a black lady. The black lady is looking at the footage and she just looks so disturbed, right? She can barely kind of talk about it because she's saying, when she saw it earlier, that it just made her just feel some kind of way. Not and they were on for a good 25 minutes talking about this video clip. Not one time did they acknowledge, right, that the people are protesting for a valid reason. Not one time did they say, well, this is backlash from the senseless murders of black men and women by the police. Like they never, that part never was attached to this news segment. And I was waiting for the sister, even if she, just like me, even if she would have said, hey, this is, difficult to watch. It just doesn't sit right in my spirit because this person who got punched in the face wasn't even, protesting. It appears that he may have been a business owner of one of the businesses that were close to the protest area, and he was speaking to someone, I guess, trying to determine whether or not they were going to close early, if it was going to be safe for his, his staff and his customers, etc. So he was not immediately attached to the protest itself on either side. He was just out there as a citizen, and he got hurt. Instead of her saying, hey, this is difficult for me to watch. This is, this gentleman had nothing to do, I guess, with the immediate protest action, and like watching him get assaulted on this video just really, really made me angry. And then say, however, we do have to keep in mind that these protests and these type of things that are going on, not just here, but everywhere, is backlash to the senseless murder. I need you to use those words, senseless murder of black and brown men, women, and children, specifically targeted by the police. Never came up. So this rant, I say this to say that this rant, the whole purpose of this rant is to put the media on alert. We are watching you too. We need y'all to stand up and stick up for the right side of this thing. It is okay for you to report the news in a truthful, I understand you have to, truthful way, so that you're providing facts and that you are providing, information and informing your public. But partial truths are not real truth. Okay? You cannot tell one part of the story out of context and not provide the other. That is not news. That's not journalism. That's not clear communication. It's none of those things that the news and the media are held responsible to look over. Okay? So I just wanted to put that out there. Again, family. We are family. I don't care where you live, what country you live in, whether or not your city has been impacted with protests or not. We are all family. I love you. Be safe. Be well. And Black Lives Matter.